Yes.
All right.
Garrett, you have the floor.
It's not a real easy way to do this. We're just kind of go through the beginning and remember and talk about stories and we'll
Anybody remember what happened last time on
So,
D&D?
so
yeah.
we
What did we before we get started? What did we retcon from like
hang
where
on,
we left
hang,
off?
hang on,
All
real
of
quick. Hang on. So we did this last week, and we went over everything that happened that all of us could remember. Gary,
Yeah.
oh,
So
okay.
basically,
I don't know if you knew that we had done that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So we
We
went
did.
through every old story, everything, all the way through. Even the weapons and like you name it. Like we went through all the
Much
things
as
that
they
we.
could remember, it was
Yeah.
fun.
and it was all to give them, options to ask you specific things that we couldn't really explain.
Okay. Yeah.
It was more to let them
We
know
did a
what
very
we
big
did.
rundown.
Yeah, and it was to also, if they had questions, then they could ask you because you had all the notes from everything. Since this was before I was taking notes.
I could probably skip a good portion of it. Some things have been retconned. All of Josh's stuff, like we don't need to worry about any of that shit.
Yeah, Redbeard Josh, not you, Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah. The like teleport to his crazy vampire world.
Yeah.
Which
We're gonna step back.
I thought was Barovia, but it isn't.
basically.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but it basically is. And changed a couple of names just for clarity's
Flavor.
sake. So I'm sure you all talked about Heartspring, the city of life and
Yes.
death.
Yes.
On the continent of Valfar, one of the large islands ruled by the bestial races. Long ago, a legendary heroic party pushed back the horde. Now the country is thriving, alive with trade and ample opportunities to seek fame and fortune. There's a great mountain range to the north, rich with ore and gem. Wild lands to the west, kobolds and the last remaining sections of the orcs live. And the capital city, led by the enigmatic sorcerer king, Gavin von Garnor. And then to the south, more importantly, is the huge elven colony called the Woods of Sharp Knives. The elves here are mysterious, xenophobic, strange, and keep to themselves.
Okay, hold on. No, Garrett is xenophobic, not the elves. Everyone hates elves, and yeah.
Not
Don't lead
all
us astray.
elves,
You made us roll to see if we were actually going to survive racism in this.
Roll for racism.
Oh yeah.
In the city, in the center of the continent is a city named Heartspring. It seems normal enough, a hub town, trading resources and mountains from the north, gearing adventurers who seek treasures into the Badlands to the west, managing food supply from the breadbasket from the south, all that sort of thing. If you were to visit Heartspring without knowing its secret, the first thing that would shock you is the religious and cultural diversity. You can't walk the length of a soldier's lance without seeing some sort of church, cult, or research group or gathering. The tightly packed city is a melting pot of beliefs, all smashed together, and you're expected to keep the peace with each other.
Oh, sorry.
So why is this, you might ask? Heartspring allows people to return from the dead much easier than anywhere else in the known world. Anywhere else, revival is a dire, difficult feat. Only the most studied clerics and the most god-chosen paladins have a chance to return life from the dead. And even then it costs a prince's ransom and materials and often goes terribly wrong. In Heartspring, a cleric just a few years out of seminary can raise the dead. This has caused a never-ending cascade of pilgrims, believers, zealots, an untold number of people with tragic backstories to arrive here. Many say it's God's blessings, though depending on which street you are on will change which god is doing the blessing. That's where the party began. A special arm of the guard force in the city, the God's Spear. The most talented and promising recruits, mercenaries, and soldiers are given the task to keep peace in the city, a feat much easier said than done. Navigating the competing beliefs of so many who directly oppose each other or claim that rituals of one may be blasphemy to another is a unique and difficult challenge. The party's humble beginnings started here, and they quickly rose to much greater heights. So, I have you guys' picture in Roll20 on Heartspring, I think. These might be old, might not be.
No, mine's still the same. I don't even have Roll20 up or anything else.
Relatively sure that that is not the right picture.
That was the last one that you had before you turned into a tree.
Oh, okay.
You have a tree picture?
No, I will send you my current picture.
Okay, good.
I'll just put it in the chat.
For your new character or your old one?
For my new character.
Does Force have an invitation on Roll20?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe not.
Josh, what about you? Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pulling up Heartspring now.
Okay.
Maybe remember how to invite people.
I heard you, Chloe.
I see a fire-bearded guy with a hammer.
That's Yams.
Yams?
James.
Oh. Gotcha.
Yeah, I am not.
I was muted. It's me. Yeah.
All I have is a face picture. I'm not as cool as everybody else.
Put it in the Discord.
Yeah, that's all I had for mine.
The handsome orc.
Yes.
Where's that, Chloe?
Handsome-ish half
It's
orc.
quite handsome.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if I have an updated picture of my character.
Yeah, I don't remember if you
He doesn't look like
changed,
that
but-
anymore.
That's all I got. That's all I've got. So I'm gonna be the disembodied head floating around.
Isn't that the same elf from Strahd?
Yeah. That's basically what I'm playing in this.
Oh, right.
I think he wants to transfer characters.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I just changed his name.
What? He's not Dathis?
I asked about this if I should go with Dathis or if I should rename him.
Well, I mean, if you rename him, then you're going with that. This is renaming him. Because your current name is Ashura.
No. Like if I
He's
should,
not doing it to where Ashura is Dathis. He's doing like Dathis is.
it is a different character.
I mean, you've also changed your name twice in the campaign.
Yeah. Okay. We're starting fresh here, okay? No more dogs getting blasted. No.
Every dog's getting blasted. That's canon already.
Every dog.
That's
every
already
dog.
canon.
You heard it. John is the one who'll be blasting the dogs now.
Hey man, they bite me, they get a hellish rebuke.
That's what he's been calling it now. Hey girl, you want this hellish rebuke?
Finger blasting dogs.
Blasting them.
God damn it.
So that was the party's humble beginnings as sort of this policing force. You did a lot to garner fame. I'm sure you talked about the kobolds. You accidentally made
Yeah.
into an army.
That they believe we were gods.
Yep.
You won a festival, granting an audience with the king. You settled disputes between the churches, but all was not well in Heartspring. Resurrections had progressively been getting more difficult. People were coming back from the dead changed and deformed, some not at all. The turmoil from this was ever present and wide-reaching. People began blaming each other and altercations broke out. The party decided to figure this problem out and add it to the list of things to ask the Sorcerer King, Gavin von Garnor. This is where things start to go awry. The king had tasked the party dealing with a new threat. A great hero had come back from the dead. From the famous adventuring party of legend, Quarthon the hero was said to have returned. The party investigated, turned out, surprise, it's a shape-changing demon. A being of pure evil and malice, only said to exist in fairy tales and children's stories. Demons are oft blamed for the ills of the world, but their existence on this plane is rare, disastrous, and the harbinger of dark times. The party and Gavin thought this could possibly be the cause for the shift of magic in Heartspring. Thus, the real adventure started. In the capital city, King Gavin tasked them with finding out more about this threat. All roads seemed to lead to the sea, as several quests led the party to the west, to the stolen lands. New pitch? Current pitch?
Yeah, current pitch.
Is that a Morrowind armor?
No, I don't know what the armor's from, but that's whenever, you know, the dwarves remade my armor in that city. That's
Ooh,
that was the art I did for it.
that's fancy, James.
Well, it's next to a different art that I based it off of, but I had to go find the picture off of my Imager profile because that's where I posted it.
Well. I'm digging it.
Let me. There's like I collected a bunch of like memories, pictures that were important-ish that were still left on this Roll20 account. So, crossing the sea on a hired galleon, you experienced quite a few dangers: pirates and food management, a shark squid.
Oh yes.
The party found a
Fucking
sunken meteor
sharktopus.
containing the spirit of a strange and powerful demon from the stars, Sixian. Seemingly defeating the unbound demon, the party continued forward. And thus you arrived on
That
the
fight was an
large...
absolute bitch.
I was pretty sure that was the end of the campaign.
Yeah, I thought we were
every
all
time
gonna
we
die.
fought, either Sixian or what's the other guy?
We only fought Tibriac
Tibriac.
once.
Cibriax, yeah. I was pretty sure we were gonna
It
die
was,
both of those
got
times.
very close.
Yeah. In fact, I'm pretty sure I got knocked out both fights.
Maybe more than once.
I know
Oh yeah,
16
it's like
sat in my neck
every
the first
boss
time we
fight.
had him.
I'm rolling death saves.
Yeah, 16 has some cool actions he could do.
Are there feats for death saves? Because I probably would need that.
I think there might be. Finally, you arrived in the Stolen Lands, the huge continent in the center of the region. From here, you got into many side quests, complicated political problems of the Riverlands, the wildlings in the fallen empire of Brevoy. You fought a dragon with your artificer friend, who's no longer with us. You got up to all sorts of shenanigans. You got an invitation from an old friend. The retired captain of the guard in Heartspring led you west to go visit him.
Leadbeard.
As well as some personal quests from Ashura and Soothflay, and Pitch as well, as time went on. You, in your travels, found many other things. Ashura was changed by the strange cuneiform fungus. You discovered a cursed city in the middle of a great forest. A chained, disgusting demon, the source of the rot and decay. Being fed by this huge brainwashed cult, Cibriax himself. Defeating this demon, it gave you some important information, though, about his dark goals, mentioning a force all demons fear and serve, something called the Dweller on the Threshold, also referred to in hushed whispers as the Black Star. Even giving name to this being was enough to shake the party, as though it was an ancient spell, making everyone sick and afraid. Regardless, another demon failed. The world was slightly better off. You guys went to Starfall, Soothflay's home city. From here, much was done. Starfall and its maze of politics and spycraft was quite the distraction for a while. The desert and its mysteries pulled the party in, and we met Soothflay's family, figured some stuff out about him. Soothflay secured the safety of his family, as well as their monetary well-being. Soothflay was betrayed by one of his best friends. It's quite tragic. What else happened?
James burned a body in the alley after getting a tattoo.
Yeah,
I
got some.
I got like full body Kossuth tattoos, even though like it doesn't go on my face, but like yeah.
I
He's
never got to
just
learn how to do
tatted up.
tattoos because we left.
Yeah, because we went like side quest after side quest and got
We were
There's
much-
accused.
so much given to
there's
you,
still
Sid.
that scorpion guy in the desert waiting for us, and he's like chained up or something.
We
He
were
like
accused
can't
of
leave
murder
that
because
portion of the desert.
my best friend set us up when we went to go protect someone, and he had alternatives and had someone stab the guy in his sleep, and he called for the cops, and that's where we got arrested and shit. And we got out of that trial.
Yeah, that's Starfall to the bottom left. Ignore the demon. The city in the desert. That's the Riverlands to the top middle.
Pay no attention to the demon.
Isn't the Riverlands where we met in Bright Sun?
Yes, yes. I did forget about him, Bright Sun. He's with you at this point. They met a Tabaxi and made friends with him.
Oh
He
wait,
wanted to be on an adventure.
he's with us?
Thought he ditched us.
Was.
We were too freaky.
He was forced to ditch you.
Yeah, 16. I'm thinking drove him insane. Or Cibriux.
I mean, we
We
did
did a
find
large.
him.
We did a large side quest for Pitch. Climbing a great mountain, Pitch was assailed by many challenges, both physical and spiritual. Pitch's connections to the gods revealed a lot for him, setting his path and giving him some choices he had to make. Conquering all before him, Pitch ascended to the peak of the volcano, where he was met with a vision of a future within his grasp. Pitch was given a choice: continue on this nightmarish and difficult hero's journey, following the heroic path full of death and misery, attempting to save the world, or abandon it and live as a powerful king, surrounded by loved ones, and live a happy and easy life of your own making. Pitch chose the hero's path, jumping into the volcano to shelve his mortal coil, to sacrifice what he could have had, and to reborn again an Asmer of fire, directly connected to his god.
Yes.
The party, continuing west, hoping to see their old friend Leadbeard, arrived at a small dwarven settlement. They found it changed to a carnal house, and some of the worst carnage they had ever seen. The bodies were not just killed, but desecrated and shamed. The entire village turned to ruin. In a great dwarven longhouse, they found the perpetrator, the demon from space, Sixian. After a long, hard battle, costing the sanity of In Bright Sun, the party finally dispatched Sixian, a promise that his master would destroy the world on his lips as he turned to dust. I think that's about the Stolen Lands saga, at least heading west.
If I recall, what didn't Sixian tell us that one of the strings have been broken?
Yes, he did.
And
Yeah, I
he
do
said there
remember
was
that.
6 of them.
Which you guys found out about a little bit later, which I'll remind you about. It's been a while.
Which
Cat.
that started with me hearing a voice while we were on the ship sailing.
I do remember that. With this rather sad turn, the party decided it was time to head back and put together all their findings. While the party had been finding their fame and fortune, the outbreak of war had gripped the region in its skeletal grasp. The strange elves from the Woods of Sharp Knives have cut a line of destruction up and out, and the party even had a few run-ins with them, each leaving more mysteries than answers, in their strange white plate armor and with bizarre weaponry. You can see one of the warriors in the top right. In the Stolen Lands, the war had overtaken the southern parts of the country. The warriors in white, so named of the xenophobic elves, with their strange white plate mail, destroy anyone who opposes them, and seem to follow no set battle doctrine or plan, accepting no surrender and revealing no goals. Many thought it was an internal elven conflict, and indeed, the party encountered a huge battalion of elven warriors going off to meet the threat, nearly getting conscripted in the process. But this is not the case. The warriors in white make no racial or cultural distinction in their destruction. With your many run-ins with the strange and powerful Infernal, you have amassed enough information to get a vague understanding of the threat sweeping the world. The so-called Dweller, or the so-symboled Black Star, has been on the fearful lips of many, from brainwashed cultists to otherworldly entities. War is now sweeping the world, as you have you seen in your surroundings and from many different places. How this is connected and why it remains a mystery to you. But it seemed like all the clues were leading you back to where you started, back to Heartspring. You. Let's see. We lost Josh during this part, or a little way before it actually. Other Josh. I think you guys just. When you got to the Riverlands, right? It was like in chaos. There was refugees from the south, and they were cramming the city, and the barbarians from the north had blood in their nose. You know, they could smell the weakness, and there was this huge conflict going on. And you finally returned to Valfar, not Valheim anymore. It's called Valfar. To go to your city of Heartspring. The hero's triumphant return was more heartache than parade. You found the city in ruins and walked through the burned husk of the city in a daze, like detectives picking through a long, cold crime scene. Only bits and pieces remained: fallen walls, charred wood, remnants of battle. We're retconning Horvian, so you didn't meet him.
That was his name, yeah.
The vampire guy.
Yeah.
The dumb here.
Yes.
Freaking Josh, man.
In the destroyed city, you followed the trail of destruction and dark energy and made it to the center point in the city, where a group of mysterious white armor-clad warriors guarded a pit going down into the ground. After a brutal, long-lasting fight, you barely scraped by, though 2 of them escaped. Finally, you found yourself at the cold, dead heart of the city, a well-hewn mine going down below, wooden scaffolding providing a passable but dangerous walkway into the darkness. From here, another important plot point, you found some strange things underneath Heartspring. With unknown technology, an excavation site had been propped up deep below. Deep into the ground, you found a strange cave system alive with bizarre runes and strange symbols. Towards the center point, guarded by an invisible assassin, you found a strange creature. This being of sort of mixed plaster and gemstone and stone and flesh, this tapestry, sort of living motherly figure holding like this big circle in her many arms, statue-like, of suckling babes. She's basically like the avatar of motherhood and birth. It's kind of a picture at the bottom right. I really couldn't find one that's, she's kind of like a motherly avatar. She called herself the Harbinger of Birth, and in her last breath, she begged you to save the otherworldly heralds. The war raging on across the world is the way to get to them, and finally allow the Black Star into this plane of reality. The strange creature, in motherly tones, begged this of you, and gave you hints to where they could be found. A looking glass that showed various locations around the world.
If I recall, since we're retconning Josh's stuff, one of the locations was where Josh's character was from.
Yeah, you saw a dark city covered in ice somewhere far north, you presume, or maybe like far south or whatever. Somewhere at a cold pole, and the city was on this huge icy continent. It's this black steel, massive city somewhere. Before the retcon, Josh.
King.
Before the retcon, Josh just simply teleported you all there. So that didn't happen. So this time you see it and you're like, whoa. Dark city in the ice.
We woke up from a weird dream where we met a weird vampire.
Yeah. And he abandoned you forever.
And they abandoned us forever.
I just imagine the fucking meme with Tuxedo Mask. Oh, I've done all I can. You didn't do anything. Next time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right.
We could see a map that's supposed to be kind of pitched in the middle when he sacrificed himself to be reborn. A Sixian and Cybriax, the 2 major demons you fought at the bottom.
Which were brothers.
This the leftmost was the Shrike, the enemy that Patrick fought to get the cuneiform. Very scary individual.
That was the Time Lord.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now
Oh,
all meaningless with a new character, but it was cool when it happened.
he disappeared with the fucking vampire. They went
Yeah,
off
they,
together.
hand in hand.
That
Man,
that last shroom he took that I was holding gave him food poisoning.
Oh, important parts. The world is gone to chaos. Wars broke out, slowly covering the lands. These warriors in white, as they're called, are peerless, unbeatable. Even you guys, who are very high-level adventurers, probably some of the strongest fighters in the world, had a great deal of difficulty just beating a handful of them. And the goal seems to be to destroy these heralds. One of them being the Herald of Birth, that is now dead. You can make some assumptions that the reason Heartspring, who had the magical power that it had, was because she was its protector, living underneath it in her domicile. But that is no longer a thing. So that and the incursion of demons onto this plane of reality, all kind of connected and threatening any sense of peace and survivability for humankind, including Dwarven and Elven and everybody else kind. So let's do some character stuff, right? Let's go around the room and introduce ourselves, remind everybody what you look like, your goals, what you've been through, your aspirations, just anything from a long storied adventure you'd want everybody else to know or remember. So who wants to go first?
I mean, I can go first.
Do it.
Do it.
All right. So, my character is a half-elf fighter / like samurai archer, and his name is Rin Ambergaze.
I like it.
And let's see. So what he is trying to do, what I'm trying to do, I guess, is go through and catalog all of the different creatures that live inside of the kingdom. And there's a secondary reason beneath his reason, but he has a book that after he or any of us are after something is defeated, he can open this book and it will absorb the body of whatever we kill and give information about that thing.
Got a Pokedex.
I didn't want to say it, but I was thinking it.
Yeah. I
You got a Pokedex.
have a Pokedex for the kingdom.
It's a Deathalog or a Morbidex.
It's
A Morbidex.
It absorbs all the dead bodies.
Very apt name right there.
So yeah, and I'm trying to think if I forgot anything. I told Garrett a bunch of shit, and now I'm forgetting all of it. I told you guys I was a half elf, but I'm half. It's like a half drow. I have dark skin and yellow eyes. That's the whole reason behind the amber gate. And green hair, tall, elfy. You know how that shit goes.
Yeah, man. Sounds like Athos to me.
Yep, that's what I was shooting for. He doesn't have a pet yet, but that will come to pass.
Poor Henry, abandoned.
Yeah.
Oh no, I
Vaporeon.
before. Yeah, he was absorbed into the Pokedex.
Wow. Send him to
Along
the
with-
fucking box and hit release.
Along with
Thank you for your service, Henry.
there's 30 other horses in here too. All of them are owned by a guy named James, the horse
Released.
killer.
Don't they have to be
Fucking
dead to be
release 'em all.
absorbed?
Yep, James killed all of them.
Oh, okay.
I killed him. You didn't feed him.
Poor Henry.
Yeah. So I think that's, and I mean, obviously, I have ranged and melee stuff, so it can go either way. I have a sword, that is called Asheroon, and a bow that is called Storm Whisper. And I think that's it.
What would interest you in the adventuring lifestyle?
It's Pokemon catching.
Yeah, catching all them Pokemans. Obviously, I can't kill. I can't defeat all these different things throughout the kingdom. Not alone, at least. So I'm looking to learn about those things for a possible other secondary, unknown reason.
Maybe you don't fear demons as the archetypal reason for everything being bad, but just another animal to
Yeah.
categorize.
That's exactly right. I'm not. Nothing is good or
He's
bad.
more interested than scared.
Exactly. That's probably my biggest downfall in real life. Hey, look at that bear. I bet it's soft.
I would hug a bear.
I totally would.
Yeah.
If God didn't want me to hug bears, they wouldn't have given them ears like that.
The
Fucking
little ears.
exactly, right? There's a statistic of the number of people who think that they can hug sun bears, the really cute bears in China.
And get
And how
fucking mauled
they
to
get
death.
they get fucking tons of people get mauled by them because they think that they're friendly, sweet animals because of how they looked.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got bear in the name. You
Maybe they should open a book.
Fucking makes sense though. I mean, they look like the kind of animals you could hug. Anyway, yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got for now, I think. Any questions that would help? Any questions about my character?
No, because I've known it for
Okay.
20 years.
Okay. Well, whatever. It's true, man. I mean, it's not anything that I think that Josh knows my Dathis character that I played in
Correct.
Strahd, and
Oh.
Garrett knows it now from us playing it.
Hmm.
But for those of you that haven't played WoW and all the other, this is the character that I've
Since
played.
2004, Patrick
Yeah.
has played the same hunter.
I've literally, this has been my character in anything and everything I've ever played.
And the same goes for John, but it's a rogue named Ecliptic. You see his name right there?
Yep.
That is true. John's pretending he's not a sneaky person.
You saw how I played
Bitch.
Strahd. That's how I play on WoW.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, this is my character.
And you're not related to James at all for once.
I am not related to James in this campaign.
Wow.
We actually had a
Sad
discussion
face.
about it. We totally had a discussion about it.
Who's next?
There was a pitch to have you be related at some point during that conversation.
Yeah, man. I
Fuck yeah, man. Yeah.
I like being related to James.
Mom totally fucked a fucking Asimar, whatever.
Yeah,
the fuck it
whatever.
was.
I'm half elf. I don't know what that other half is.
Yeah.
Could be anything.
It could.
Next.
Let's do one of the new guys. We'll alternate. So Josh or Forrest.
I mean, I don't fucking particularly mind, so I guess I'll lead this party off. Where did it go? I just fucking closed my fucking tab like a jackass. Yeah, so I am a half-orc fighter. He's, I don't know, let's say around 5'8", I think is what I have in here. Around 190, 200 pounds. It's very muscular, but not like fucking not like a fucking juicer, if you kind of understand.
Yeah.
Use you as an orc.
Yeah.
He's natty.
Yeah. His features, like I tried to grab that picture earlier because I wanted him to not have the really orcish features. He favors his mom's side much more. Essentially, my mother, around the age of 20, lived in a border town close to the edge of where the kingdom's influence reaches, where they can, conceivably be keeping, you know, soldiers or just employing people to keep monsters and other things at bay. So around 20, there was a orcish raiding party came through, and she was taken as a battle captive, and she was a slave for around 8 years. So, and during that time, I was conceived and was born. I spent the first 5 years of my life in slavery like that. At some point, a actual platoon came through, and we were rescued during that, like, one particular guy. I'm trying to find where the actual notes are. So there we go. Yeah, during the skirmish or whatever, where this army platoon came across the orcish encampment, I noticed, this one guy has this super nice polished armor, and it sort of just struck me as sort of like this archetypal hero, and so that sort of stuck with me my entire life. And so once I came of age, I immediately left home and went and joined the army, and spent the next, say, 15 years. So I think I have my age set somewhere around 35. So spent the next 15 years in service, working in the army, just because, like, I wanted to serve the country, blah blah blah, whatever. I wanted to be that guy who came and saved me. I wanted to sort of do that. But things don't work out the way we all imagine as children. I worked my way through the ranks, and I was in charge of a platoon, and politics happened. Nobleman wanted his son to gain some glory on the battlefield, so he uses his influence and his coin purse to basically take control of my platoon. So whenever that happens, I basically told my higher ups that, I'm not going to fucking take orders from some sniveling, snot-nosed brat that got here because of his daddy's coin purse. Well, that doesn't work real great in the army, so I got kicked out, and so I ended up going back home, and finding my mom has already moved on. She's remarried, or she's married now, and she has, I think, 3 kids, whatever, doesn't matter. But basically, it's a matter of, new hubby is kind of not real cool with me coming back, and so she gives me a ring that is the last keepsake she has from her father, and sends me on my way. And so now I'm out, sort of working as a sellsword and an adventuring where I can, because I still have this ideal that I want to keep, and I still want to be that guy in the well-polished armor that, protects the people that are too weak to protect themselves.
Wow. Well, you have ample opportunity these days. You hear rumor that there are these strange demonic forces ruining towns and causing all sorts of mayhem. You're not sure whether to believe in it or not. But one thing for sure is that the war broken out. These damn elves is causing all sorts of misery and strife for the innocent and the weak. What'd you say your name was one more time?
He goes by Garuk Drax.
Oh, right. Of course. Garut Wildspeaker. Yes. So, pretty.
Except for New Garuk is a Phyrexian.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Pretty easy reasoning to slip in with the party. They're about the best bet you can have. If there were ever heroes still around to ride in and save the day, it would be these guys. Probably some of
Does
the
this
most.
party have a name?
Godspear.
What was
Yeah.
Godspear. We chose Godspear.
Okay. Is that a name that people would be referring to you by, or is this something internal that you're sort of?
No, that's what we're doing. We when we had left Heartspring after being destroyed, basically, we came across some people that were acting like they were mercenaries for Heartspring. Basically, they were just doing some asinine shit, and they ultimately asked what we were, and James told them that we are Godspear. Because that whole aspect and facility of Heartspring was dismantled and no longer viable. So because we were basically the last active party of Heartspring, we took up that mantle of being Godspear.
Nice. I'm imagining that these characters are famous basically across the continent. Already forgot the name of it. So if I was
Valfar.
going,
Yes.
if I was going around, I would have heard of this this Godspear group, not only as referred to as the army, but I would probably I might make a connection there that they would have, that maybe they are the remnants of the Godspear, or would I know a little more information?
So are you supposed to be from this country?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on this continent, just, where he mentioned earlier on, there's this area to the west that is like where the last remaining, orc hordes and all this shit. But that was also, 35 years ago that where my origin started.
There's still a Wild West. It's east, but there's still a Wild West out here, and it's kind of this untamed. There's orcs and roving mercenary bands, and would-be kings and people that just scoff laws and stuff like that. So, you would know about Godspear in the city, but you would know as time has passed and the city has lost its magic and then subsequently was destroyed. The Godspear police force, peacekeeping force, is no more, but the heroic party lives on. You guys are what, level fucking like 11 or something?
12.
12? Yeah.
We're up there.
Definitely famous for your feats.
Alright.
Shut
the
the
other
fuck
thing,
up, Patrick.
like, we didn't get to really go over it, but with my work with the army, would I have any insight as to whether or not they are actually directly connected to the original Godspear at all, or is this something that would be just sort of...
At this point, yes. The army would, I believe, would be all overall working under the king. Everyone is, right?
Yeah.
So you would probably wouldn't have heard of them at first, but as they continued doing more and more for the king and rising up the ranks, you would have heard about them, in that regard.
All right.
In that context.
Cool.
Oh, there was some discrepancy that I don't know if we went over. Which von Goranor is the one that hired us?
It was Gavin, wasn't it?
Gavin is the one you were working
Gavin's the
under, And
Yeah.
then
Which
you
one's the one we're
met
finding? We're trying
you
to
met
find.
his nephew, quote unquote, who claimed that it wasn't the real Gavin anymore. Is
Oh, that's right.
Rhaegar von Garnor.
Okay.
And you guys never met up back with him. You got distracted with other side quests.
Yep. Yeah, that happened.
It doesn't sound anything like us.
So who's next?
I guess I'll go ahead and go through Pitch's backstory. He started off as a fire genasi. He was like a bald guy with a big flame beard, and he was a priest of Gargaros. He was found by these people. I guess the followers of Gargaros. I guess in the woods or something, and he was brought up in their what did we call it? It wasn't like a church.
Convent.
Yeah, we'll call it a convent.
Arena?
I can't remember. Yeah, they're kind of warlike and
Yeah.
very bloodthirsty. And thematically, I think we went with them kind of like shunning me a little bit because I would make decisions that were sort of more merciful, and that sort of led to him being attacked by like the followers of this sect or cult or whatever you want to call it, and that sort of started him down the Kosuth worshipping, where he would worship the Fire Lord Kosuth, and then we ended up fighting the leader of the Gargaros cult, and he tore my fucking arm off.
Yeah. I remember that.
And then John Blim Blam fucking one-shot him.
I gotta avenge my homies.
Suth has been good to you. You guys have a very close connection.
And ended up fixing him a robotic arm from our artificer friend. We went and met more Kosuthian worshippers over in that dwarven place. I can't remember where it was exactly. There was the dragon there.
That was after the ship sailing, and where we found that meteorite.
And then, like Garrett said earlier, we went through that quest. He kind of chose a different life, and then he kind of basically was reborn, and so no robot arm anymore. He kind of looks like those pictures. Yeah, I don't know what else to go over. He's
really
an Asimur now. He's really into Kosuth. Very into it.
The living angel, the right hand of Kosuth.
Absolutely.
That does remind me. I tried downloading the list of gods that you had in the chat.
Did you try again after I uploaded it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it's using some program that my computer is telling me to go fuck myself whenever I look at it.
I think it was just Word or Excel.
Yeah, well, I was using Word. I don't have Excel.
It's opening it up in Notepad. It's not allowing him to open up a Notepad.
Yeah, Notepad. It just tells me to go fuck myself. In Word, it cuts off real bad, and so I can't see the last.
Somebody open it and just fucking use snipping tool to take a
Screenshot.
picture and send it to him.
Yeah, send him. Yeah, just like a picture, or multiple pictures if need be.
Yeah, we'll get it one way or the other.
Yeah.
I actually
Be
chose the
interested to
god.
have access to that just because I'd like to have a god that I worship.
Yeah.
Maybe not
Oh.
like be
Yeah.
pious to, but like a think I do want to have.
I don't think anybody can really rival James's piety, so you just go ahead and enjoy what you can, because James is about as fucking hardcore as it gets.
Oh yeah.
Kosuth gives him a lot of proof. There's not a lot of faith in his worship, you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Oh
evidence.
yeah. I just know.
Kosuth does it. He's just like, bruh, will you leave me alone, please? I've seen you every day this week, nigga. Chill.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
we don't have to fuck every single day.
No, we do.
We can take a nap.
Every fucking day.
That's what it seems like, man. You and Kosuth have a very close relationship. Very
Oh yeah.
special relationship.
Oh, it's closer than you think.
We're gonna find out later on that Kosuth is actually a giant dog.
Oh my god.
Had to. I'm sorry.
I hate you.
Yeah, this is way better. Thank you. I just got the thing you sent. So, yeah, that's way better. Is this exhaustive? This is all of the gods that
Well, my thing was always that like Heartspring is huge, and there's all these. These are sort of the major ones that you'll encounter. But if you had something, you wanted, we could definitely work it out. But this
Okay.
was kind of just the initial choice list.
Just tell him that you worship Slanesh.
Really, it's just like you gotta have a boon and a bane.
and
Not all good.
What
not
is
all
all
bad.
what's all the boon and bane stuff? What is all that?
Well, when you choose one, you get the boon, but you also get the bane. Right? So, if you're a follower of Azuth, the goddess of wizards, you'll get an extra spell a day, but every melee attack is going to do 2 extra damage to you just for free.
Oh, this is just like by worshipping a god, you get these.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was more like a special thing where, like, if you're actually super in touch with them, like if you were, say, a paladin.
No, you don't have to be a cleric or a paladin. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just for flavor.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
Fair enough. So Zadaran.
Zadaran.
Sounds good.
Yes. That's me. So, Zadaran is a Lokatha, which, if you don't know, is basically a catfish person. Here's a picture of him in character details.
Okay, that's perfect.
It's amazing.
Hell yeah, man.
Well, lawful neutral, gender of male, eyes fish, 5'2",
Eyes
skin
fish.
slimy, 24 years old. Basically, background: Lokatha live in like shallows and shoals and keep in tight little communities. Because in the past they were enslaved by some of the other like deep sea races, so they kind of stay away from the deeper oceans. A little bit wary of people for the most part, but overall they're a nice community. When Zada was a small little guppy, a wizard moved into the town. Well, not near the town, not into the town, but near it. And over time, became like a fixture of the town. Like everyone knew this little wizard, and he was a gnome. The gnome's name was Walt, and he would hang out with this gnome all the time, learning from him, just learning about the outside world. And Walt was trying to like learn more about the sea and some of the other deep sea races, but he became so enraptured with Lokatha and the community that he basically just stayed there indefinitely. And teaching my character, about wizards and gods and magic and everything. This went on for many years, and one day, my character swam over to go visit Walt, found that the gnome had passed away in the night. However, before he passed away, Walt had used the magic mouth spell and left a message for my character as kind of like a last will and testament. Turns out he was a wizard of the Order of Scribes, and he had left me all of his worldly possessions so that I could go and learn more about the world that I was so enraptured with, and carry on his tradition of just learning and writing and inscribing everything. So, packed up with couple little knickknacks of his. They may not be useful to me since I can already breathe underwater, but stuff like his special spell book that doesn't get damaged underwater, and a decanter that lets me stay hydrated on land. I'm just venturing forth out of my tribe to go and explore the world and see more, and basically just learn all I can. Very inquisitive young fish.
Would you say that you wanted to see world?
Exactly.
You want to be where the people are.
Mhm.
Well, as far as interest in the party, Zadaran, an accomplished wizard by now, level 12, you would know a lot, probably more than the party does itself, about demons and the arcane and breaking barriers and stuff like that. That's kind of your bread and butter, or your seasoning, as the case may be. You would know that demons are sort of intrinsically magical. They sort of are magic. They're not flesh and blood. They breathe and live the arcane, and that maybe joining the party would be the best way to get up and close and personal, though it may be dangerous. All in the pursuit of knowledge,
Sounds good to me. Also, I don't know if this is anything, but for the background, I chose Inheritor. Just got inherited all this stuff from the wizard, so I'm basically using that as kind of like one of my driving goals. Is like he gave me his spell book, and so it's my idea to fill it with more. So, yeah, if I can learn more about the arcane and about demons and worlds beyond worlds, then
Oh yeah, there are many creatures that seek to pierce the veil between worlds. Wizards being one of the main few that dabble in that, and demons being an unfortunate other group that like to pierce the veil. Not the band, but beat up humans when they so please. All right, sounds great to me. Souffle, does that just leave you?
Yes, it does. You see before you a half-elf, crimson, dark hair, shorter length with tied up in a ponytail, and little bits of it by the crown in the back. Instruments of Dorns. You see a symbol-shaped shield, and you'll notice that there is by now, a lab-sized that accompanies Souffle as his companion, named Kitu. It, as well, is a red dragon. You see Kitu will also have, by now it's fairly tight, and I will have to have it refashioned, but he has a breastplate on him that was taken from the sharktopus that we killed, that I had reformed and molded into a decorative armor for him to keep his own personal hoard close to his skin, to where he can freely move about without any problems. Souffle, being half elf, extravagant as you can tell, his whole purpose is to experience the world, to travel it, to see what it has, to learn of the stories, and to make stories himself and tell those and share of all the sights and splendors that he has experienced. Not only is he damn good at playing an instrument or getting information by means of exchanging favors, he is also the best damn cook you will ever meet. Hailing from a family that owns their own bakery in the town of Starfall, I originally found out that my magical abilities had come from working in the bakery one day, and just to pass the time, I would start humming or singing little bits of song, and that's where the magical properties kind of infused into the baked goods of each day whenever I was working, and that caused more popularity and more flourish to the family business because of how wonderful they taste. By now, since Patrick will be a different character and James is really the only one left, Souffle is actually not my real name. It is Asdaris Calspin, which, up to this point,
It's known.
and for that purpose, I use the alias Souffle to not tie my family back to all my exploits and travels, to keep them out of harm's way. Don't really have any disfiguring scars. I'm, fairly well clean and, very approachable in appearance. If there's ever a good time to be had, I'm going to be the one to make it happen.
So true. Silver tongue.
The original.
Down the crack of somebody's ass.
Oh my god.
And you know what? They love it because they spill the beans.
No one can say no to souffle.
It's going to be very difficult to, and not in the way of Sean Connery.
Beatings? Is that what we're...
So, I think that's about the gist of everything. The important parts are really that these pillars of the world, these avatars, these spoke points for reality are kind of holding things together so that demons and devils and extraplanar beings can't just reach into our reality and kill us at their whim, but something is attacking these things and has killed one of them already. This black star, this dweller on the threshold. And the party is, through a lot of tribulation, kind of gathered information on this, and I presume, unless somebody wants to turncoat, going to try to stop it. They were too late on one, but they have leads on the others. And that we all know each other. Unless there's any questions, I guess that'll be it for now, and then we'll get into the party meet and the real session next time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And
Next week
that was a lot of information, but we
is.
can always ask. There's not going to be a test.
I assume we're not going to be doing this next week, right?
I think we'll be somewhere else.
Oh, yes.
Well, I don't. That's.
I think I'm doing something. I think I'm doing something that weekend.
Yeah.
No, I'm asking
It's
because
Thursday. I think I can, unless something comes up. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
All right. Well, I don't want to pressure you. You got enough on your chest.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Should be all right.